Hi KB, let's go over our math lesson for today, Tuesday, June 2nd. We are starting on page 497. We are in chapter 12.2. And once again, we see a chart. It is split down the middle. So we know that we are going to do two different things in this chart. Our direction says to choose a shape. Draw the shape at the top of each side. So for me, I am going to choose a triangle. You can choose any shape. I'm going to choose a triangle, and I'm going to put it at the top of both sides of my chart. And now I know what I'm looking for. Now I know I'm looking for shapes that are triangles, shapes that are not triangles. And you're going to go ahead and draw your shape, whatever shape you've chosen. Put it here. You can make it small, so maybe I want to make a tiny triangle. Maybe you want to make a big triangle. Maybe you want to make your shape and put it on its side. These are all triangles because they all have 3 sides and 3 vertices, 3 corners. So now I have a side of triangles. Now I need a side that is not, that does not have triangles. So maybe I will draw a circle. What else could I draw? I could make a square. I could make a rectangle. I can make any shape that is not a triangle. Go ahead and do that with your shapes, and then you can color them. You can color them however you'd like. For me, I might color all of my triangles blue. If I want to color all of my triangles blue, then I'm going to use a different color for the other side. Maybe a red circle, maybe a green square. But now I have sorted by shape and by color. Take a look at that. I have sorted by shape. This side, it's all triangles. This side, it's also all blue. Shape and color. This side, it's not triangles, and these shapes are not blue. So do that with any shape that you choose. Then turn the page to 498. So here we go. We're going to do this page all together, and then I'm going to start you guys on the next one, but you'll finish it. All right, so here we go. We need to put the shapes at the top here into the correct categories. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the colors that I see to help me out. So the first shape we're looking for is a circle. How many circles do you see here? I only see one. And what color is it? It's blue. So I'm going to draw one blue circle. And then to help me, you don't have to do this, but to help me, I know I've already used the circle, so I'm going to put a line through it. That helps me know I already used it. How many squares do you see? I see one square. And it's yellow, so I'm going to make a yellow square underneath where it says square. How many triangles do you see? Whoops, forgot to cross out my square. How many triangles do you see? I see 1, 2. And they're different colors. So I see a red triangle, and the other color is a green triangle. And now I've used my triangle, so I'm going to cross them out. Last one. How many rectangles do you see up here? How many rectangles? I see 1, 2, 3. I see 3 rectangles and 2 of them are red. So I'm going to make 2 red and I see 1 blue. And I've used them, so now I'm going to cross them out. And now I can see I have used all of my shapes. They are all placed in the correct category down below. So now I'm going to use this page. I'm going to use these shapes to answer the problems over here. Let's take a look at number 2 together. Circle the categories that have 1 shape and write the number. So we have circles, square, triangle, rectangle. Circle, square, triangle, rectangle. How many categories have just 1 shape? The circle has 1. The square has 1. Triangle and rectangle, they have more than 1. So how many categories have just 1 shape? 1, 2. I'm going to come over to the top. I'm going to circle with my pencil the circle category and the square category, because the circle category had 1 shape, the square category had 1 shape. If I want to be sure, how many shapes are in the triangle? 1, 2. I can put that number where I see triangle. You don't have to, but it might help you. How many shapes are in the rectangle category? 1, 2, 3. So if it helps you, put a 3 under rectangle. How many categories only had 1 shape? We circled them. 1, 2. So I'm going to put the number 2 on the line. Boys and girls, you're going to do the exact same thing for number 3 and for number 4. For number 3, circle the category that has 2 shapes. You don't even have to go back to this page. You can, but if you wrote your numbers up here, which category has 2 shapes? The triangle. And if I want to check, I see 2 shapes under triangle. So I'm going to circle the category that says triangle. How many categories did I circle here? How many have 2 shapes? Just 1. And put that on the line. Number 4 is asking you to circle the category that has 3 shapes. And you can do this one. Which category has 3 shapes? Which category has 3 shapes? Circle your category and write on the line how many categories you circled. Well done, KB. Let's turn the page to 500. Already, page 500. Look at the chart at the top. How are these shapes sorted? How are they classified? What are these shapes? They all have how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These shapes all have 4 sides. Are they the same color? Nope. but they have the same number of sides. They have the same number of vertices. So how are these shapes sorted? Tell somebody in your house. Draw one more shape in each category. Draw one more shape. These shapes all have 4 sides, 4 vertices, and the length is all the same. So I'm going to make one more shape. I'm going to make a square. 4 sides, 4 vertices. All the sides are the same length. Draw another shape over here. Now, can you draw a square? Is there any shape on this side that has 4 sides, 4 vertices, and the sides are the same length? No. The rectangle comes close, but the sides are not the same length. So draw one of these shapes right here. I'm going to draw the circle. Excellent. Come down to your box at the bottom. Use the same shapes and draw to show what you know about sorting in a different way. What's another way I could sort these shapes? Look at the shapes at the top. What is another way that I could sort them? I'm going to sort them by color. I'm going to use the color red. You can use any of the colors you see up here, but I'm going to use the color red. So how many shapes are red up here? I have a red square and a red circle. I'm going to make that in the box. I have a red square and I have a red circle. And I've used them. So I'm going to cross them out. All my other shapes that are not red, I'm going to make them over here. And you can go ahead and do that. Fantastic, fantastic sorting, KB. You guys are so, so smart. Let's move on to chapter 12.3, page 501. Now we're going to sort shapes by big and small. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So choose some shapes and make them big. I might make a big circle. I might make a big square. Maybe a big triangle. Oops, that triangle's a little bit sloppy, but you can do better. Oh, my circle is sloppy too. It's not even closed. So make a bunch of big shapes and then come over to this side and make some little shapes. Sorting by big and small. Let's turn the page to 502. And once again, we are sorting by big and small. So take a close look at your shapes here. And I want you to start with what shape you think is the biggest. Which shape looks the biggest to you? I think the circle looks pretty big. So I am going to draw a circle and cross it out under big. This yellow square also looks pretty big. So now I have a yellow square. And to help me, I'm going to add the colors. That was a big blue circle and a big yellow square. What other shapes at the top look big to you? I think this guy looks pretty big, certainly bigger than this little red one. So we have a blue rectangle. And there's one more shape that looks pretty big up at the top. And I know it looks pretty big because there's 2 of them and one is bigger. Take a look at this red triangle. If you're not sure if it looks big, look at the green triangle. Which one is bigger? Your red. So now I have taken my big shapes and I have put them under big. Now I can take my small shapes and put them under small. So I have a green triangle and I have 2 red rectangles. They are small compared to the other shapes. Green was small and red was small. And there you go, you've done it. You've sorted your shapes into big and small. All of my shapes at the top are crossed off. I know I've used them all. And they're down here in the chart. Small, big. So let's come to page 503, and we're on problem number 2. Circle the category that has 3 in the category. How many shapes do we see under small? 1, 2, 3. How many shapes do we see under big? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which category had 3 shapes? Small. How many categories did you circle? You circled 1. Come down to problem number 3, and we're looking for this many. Circle the category that has 4 per category. Which category has 4 shapes? So we're going to circle big. How many categories did you circle here? 1. Well done, KB. One more page, and it is our mid-chapter checkpoint. Oh my goodness, let's do this together. Our mid-chapter checkpoint. Pencils ready? Let's start with number 1. Look at the set at the beginning of the row. Look at these shapes. Circle the shape that belongs in that set. Which shape belongs with this set? Circle that shape. Number 2. Look at the shape at the beginning of the row. Mark an X on the set that it belongs. Which set does this shape belong to? Put an X on top of the set that this shape belongs. Let's come down to number 3. Mark under the picture that shows the shape that does not belong. Which shape does not belong? Give you a hint. Look at its size. Look at the size of your shapes. Which shape does not belong? Fill in the bubble. Practicing sorting by color, by shape, and by size. And do your happy dance, because that was hard work, KB, and we are halfway through chapter 12. Way to go. I am so proud of you guys, and I will see you really soon. Bye-bye.